Winter weather. The ice is now thawed, and we are taking a look at how city crews responded. And we have the action you should take now to protect your ride. Building for the future.
It's time for a new station.
Irving's oldest pump station is about to get replaced. Find out the significance of this huge project. Metal metamorphosis.
It's just like, nature is recycling. This sculpture kind of echoes that motif as well.
A high school student uses reclaimed metals to create a work of art. And now it's part of a park to attract butterflies. Plus, highlights from State of the City and an update on the Yellow Heart Memorial. Now on City Source. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. We begin today with how Irving employees responded to the challenging winter weather. Crews with Irving's Streets Division sanded and plowed roads 24 hours a day during the worst of it. Our team followed along to capture this video of them in action. The city's Office of Emergency Management says that overall impacts to the city were minor because people, for the most part, followed the advice of authorities and stayed home. Even so, the police and fire departments did see an increase in the number of wrecks and other vehicle-related calls. Irving's Fleet Services also worked around the clock to make sure city teams were able to respond in the challenging conditions. Now that the icy weather has passed, it is a good time for drivers to pay extra attention to their vehicles because there could be some impacts you don't want to overlook. AAA spokesperson Daniel Armbruster is here with more on that. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks, Thomas.
Yeah, and I think we would all like to put the ice behind us, but there are some things to check. Let's start with washing your vehicle. Why is that important to do right now?
Yeah, you should always regularly wash your vehicle, but after a winter storm, a lot of times our roads are treated, and some of the chemicals that are used to treat the road, which are great for de-icing the roadways, if they stay on the undercarriage of your car, when you're driving over that, it kind of splashes up into your undercarriage. And if it stays there for a while, it can cause corrosion on really important parts of your vehicle, like your brake lines and things that you really need. So it's important after a winter storm passes, or if roadways are treated even for a winter storm and we don't see any ice, to go and get that washed and make sure that they focus on your undercarriage.
Let's move to the tires. What do we need to look for there?
Well, good tires and well-maintained tires are essential for road travel at all times, but especially when roadways are wet or if they're slippery from winter weather, you're going to need good traction and to be able to control your vehicle. And so part of that is having healthy tires, making sure that you have the right amount of air pressure in your tire, making sure that the traction is at least 4/32 of an inch. To measure that, you can actually take a quarter, turn it upside down in the traction and go in between. If you can see the top of Washington's head, it's time to get new tires.
A good hint there. And I heard of some people having trouble starting their cars because of their batteries. So what's going on there?
Yeah, here in North Texas, we see extreme temperatures on both ends. Whether it's summer heat or winter weather, both can cause the life of our battery to shorten. So what happens is during the winter when it gets really cold outside, even if there's not precipitation, if it's just cold and below or close to freezing, what happens is the oil in our engines starts to thicken up. Well, then it's much harder for those parts to start moving, and the battery in our vehicle to turn over the engine and start it has to work a lot harder. So it takes a fully powered battery to work. Oftentimes during winter weather situations and extreme heat situations, AAA will respond to an increased number of calls for dead batteries or battery service.
And we know winter is not over, so if people were caught off guard this time, what are some things you recommend having in your vehicle for the winter months to come?
Well, you should always have an emergency roadside kit any time of year that you're especially if you're going on a long road trip or even if you're just out and about. But during the winter, you want to add a few things to that emergency kit. So normally you would have a first aid kit, tool supplies, things of that nature. But during the winter months, if you're stranded waiting for help and you don't have power to your vehicle, you're not going to have heat. And so you want to stay warm. So you're thinking items like blankets, gloves, extra coats and jackets. And don't forget about yourself, your passenger, and your pets. They have to stay warm too. So it's important to think about that if you're going to be out and about, because if you get trapped out in those cold temperatures, that can be very dangerous.
And also that ever-present, ever-important ice scraper. Can't miss that too.
That's right. Yeah, you got to have the ice scraper, snow brush, and there's a proper way to de-ice your window as well. Never throw hot water on your windshield. Believe it or not, people do that. That can cause significant damage to your windshield. And today's windshields are more than just a sheet of glass. They also have parts in them. Some of them have sensors that can be very expensive to replace.
Daniel Armbruster with important information from AAA Texas. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Hundreds of people turned out for State of the City at the Irving Convention Center. The Irving Las Colinas Chamber of Commerce hosts the annual event. Through remarks by Mayor Rick Stouffer and highlight videos, attendees learned about some of the successes of 2022, and there were a lot. Economic development announcements, including a new Wells Fargo campus, successful big events at Levy Event Plaza and Heritage Park, as well as ongoing infrastructure work. The city is also taking action that will save money over time.
We had the opportunity over the last couple of years to refinance our debt as the interest rates came down. We saved over $110 million by refinancing our debt.
That's amazing.
So those are tax dollars that we will not have to spend.
The mayor also talked about some of what he sees as the city's strongest qualities.
We're a strong city. We're a competitive city. We're extremely competitive when it comes to businesses and residents and housing and things of that nature. And we're a proud city. We're proud of what we've accomplished.
Mayor Rick Stouffer presented his Corporate Award of Excellence to Irving Countertop. Founder Marvin Randall not only established himself as a businessman, but the honor also recognizes his numerous contributions to the community over many decades. Several of his family members joined him on stage as he received the award. We will be showing the entire State of the City event on ICTN Now and posting it on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/The City of Irving. Now to one of the construction projects previewed at State of the City, and this one will serve a key role in delivering water to thousands of Irving residents. The Carbon Road Pump Station is the city's oldest pump station, and it's about to get replaced. We found out the details behind the project. So you can see this facility has some years on it.
Yes, sir. It has quite a few years on it.
Irving Water Utility's oldest pump station is about to get replaced. The Carbon Road Pump Station is 50 years old.
With this pump station being at the age that it's at, we generally have issues with finding parts and getting maintenance taken care of because a lot of the equipment is kind of aged out a little bit.
This station is what is providing water to the west side of Irving, so all these residents are able to have water at their homes.
It is an area that has grown a lot since that pump station opened. So here's what's coming. This new $38 million facility, designed to better match some of the neighborhood aesthetics, and more importantly, engineers say will operate a lot more efficiently and have built-in backups.
There's also going to be some diesel generators. If we ever lose power, those generators will automatically kick on, so we're still going to be able to serve water to our residents in the event of any kind of storm event or a power loss or anything like that.
It'll be nice to have a facility that's easier to maintain, where we've got equipment that's not exposed to the elements, that's more pleasing to the neighbors around. There's just a lot of benefits to replacing this facility.
Construction will start this spring and take about 2.5 years. Residents might be wondering when they hear about such a long construction time, are they going to be without water service at any point in that process?
No, sir, not at all. We're building it on a completely different part of the site.
This is the land we purchased several years ago.
Anticipating the need for a new station, Water Utilities bought this adjacent site. All of the construction will happen here while the existing facility is still running. And then, when the new one opens,
just imagine 33 million gallons are going to be able to be pushed out of the station every single day.
It is a project that the team involved is proud to make a reality.
I actually live in Irving, so I drink the water. My family drinks the water, so I take a lot of pride in what I do here.
The existing one has served us well for a long time, but it's time to reinvest.
The city's water utilities team plans decades into the future to anticipate the water needs of the city and to plan replacement of equipment. The filing period is underway for residents interested in becoming a candidate in the May city election. This year, the position of mayor and city council districts 3 and 5 will be on the ballot. Those council districts are single-member districts, which require the candidate live within the boundaries of the district in which they plan to run. Candidates for mayor may reside anywhere within the city limits. Packets are available in the city secretary's office at City Hall or through cityofirving.org/elections. They are due on February 17th. Election day is May 6th. Also on the May 6th ballot, Irving ISD is seeking voter approval for a more than $701 million bond issue. It is spread over 5 different propositions, which voters will decide separately. The largest is Proposition A, which includes the renovation of 32 schools, the replacement of Barton, Farine, and Crockett, as well as other additions. IrvingISDbond.com has the full list of what's included across all 5 propositions. We have followed the work that the group Friends of Irving Gardens has been doing at Birds Fort Trail Park, and in their latest effort, the Friends got help from a high school student with a knack for craftsmanship. Our Robert Sheik has the story.
Wrenches and bolts and that stuff.
As Nimitz High School senior Aiden Burton began a recent Eagle Scout project, he looked to one of nature's most beautiful marvels for inspiration.
On a butterfly, there's actually veins, and they spread out through the wings, and I got the idea that the wires could be the veins.
Burton sculpted these butterfly wings out of reclaimed materials for Friends of Irving Gardens to use as a trellis at Birds Fort Trail Park along the Campion Trail.
The fact that it's made from repurposed material so it kind of goes into our theme of conservation and sustainability. Just like nature is recycling, this sculpture is a kind of echoes that motif as well.
Friends of Irving Gardens has a detailed plan for this sculpture, using it to grow a passion vine, a plant that serves as a host for a certain species of butterfly, the Gulf fritillary.
Our garden prioritizes host plants because it's not just fun to have the butterflies come eat. We want them to build their home and reproduce. This will be another kind of host plant for another species that we're eager to attract.
The sculpture is the latest addition to this peaceful garden, just yards from the Elm Fork of the Trinity River.
The results are awesome, and to think that an individual student and his scouting friends could make a difference is just fantastic.
Pretty proud, it's a big deal.
A local student making a lasting impact, serving the people, plants, and wildlife in his community. Robert Sheik for City Source.
Here's information on a program that can help eligible first-time home buyers in a big way. As much as $50,000 is available through the city's Down Payment Assistance Program. The goals of the program are to make the dream of homeownership a reality and to make sure homeowners can be self-sufficient so they can continue to afford their homes. More information and an orientation video are available at cityofirving.org/downpayment. An effort that started in Irving has spread nationwide in 2 years. Rosie Davis started the Yellow Heart Memorial with some yellow construction paper and a big goal: to make sure lives lost to COVID-19 are not just a number. That campaign marked its 2nd anniversary, and our team was there for the event. This ceremony at Irving's Millennium Park marks the 2nd anniversary of the Yellow Heart Memorial.
We've been honoring loved ones lost to COVID.
An audience is watching this event live on Facebook. Rosie Davis started the Yellow Heart Memorial here in Irving after her mother died in the early days of the pandemic. She has since expanded her work across the country.
The main goal now for Yellow Heart Memorial is to establish permanent memorials in cities.
This memorial in Norwalk, California is one of 4 now in place nationwide.
This would turn into a movement.
At this ceremony in Irving, a mural artist is offering his talents for a memorial in DFW.
I am trying to find a wall in Dallas to actually paint a memorial for Rosie's mother. Kind of want to make it a community thing where people can go up to the mural and add a name.
Even though some attention to COVID has waned, people involved want to keep the memory of loved ones alive.
They're not just a number. We got very obsessed with numbers as the COVID deaths rose, as people became infected, and even though we're not looking at that number every single day, these are still loved ones.
We're going to keep going, and we'll be around for a long time.
Sharing stories of impact and loss through the Yellow Heart Memorial. Yeah, and Rosie Davis has also met with lawmakers in Washington about establishing a national memorial. The website cityofirving.org will be getting a significant makeover, the first one in about 9 years. The goal is to give users a better experience. The team working on the project is seeking input to find out what residents would most like to see. You can participate by taking a survey available now at cityofirving.org/website. Responses will be accepted through March 5th. Winter fun comes to Irving at Frost Fest. You are looking at video from last year's event, and these attractions are returning. Snow tubing hills, snow play areas, bounce houses, and more. Frost Fest is Saturday, February 18th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. It's at Levy Event Plaza, 501 East Las Colinas Boulevard. Admission and those attractions are free. Find more at irvingevents.org. For our viewers watching us on cable, we changed the way we label our channels. The goal is to make it easier to identify what you're watching and find what you're looking for. ICTN Now features the latest editions of CitySource, About Town, and Game of the Week. Spectrum cable subscribers can find ICTN Now on Channel 16. For Frontier, it's Channel 30. ICTN Meetings features City Council and work session meetings live and on repeat, so you can see city government at work. That's on Spectrum Channel 95 and Frontier Channel 31. ICTN Classics features programs from our more than 40-year history. Find Classics on Spectrum Channel 96 and Frontier Channel 32. The Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau is looking for input on a project that will help with its marketing efforts. Find out how you can get involved next time on CitySource. Plus, we'll take you to the ribbon-cutting celebration for the University of St. Augustine for Health Sciences. Those stories and much more next time on CitySource. Remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. Also, find us on YouTube. Our channel is at youtube.com/thecityofirving. And while you're there, hit subscribe and keep in mind that we appreciate the likes and positive comments. And look for updates on events and initiatives across the major social media platforms at the City of Irving. And that's it for this edition of CitySource. Thanks for watching, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.